guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been a very long time since I've posted on here. I just needed to take a break. I took a little bit of a break from social media, but I just really wanted to focus on family and school. So yes, let's just hop into the video. I'm going to show you guys a lot of the curriculum, not everything, but a lot of the curriculum that we used this year. I'm going to give you my feedback on what I thought was good, what's worth the money, maybe some stuff that I wasn't a fan of, and yeah, we'll just dive into the video. So let's go in with the positive stuff, the stuff I really enjoyed. So and that the kids liked also. So geography course from Master Books. We did all three. Christopher did the Viking realms, Haley did explore medieval kingdoms, and Addison did explore the Holy Land. My favorite, and I think just the best one of the three that we've done, this was the best one. So many good recipes. I would say we did them all except maybe two, and only one of them we weren't a fan of the recipe, but other than that, everything else was a total hit. So we loved this one. Your child can work very independently. I will say though, if you don't have a strong reader, I don't know if they'll care for this one. There is a lot of reading, but the worksheets are really fun in here. They have a lot of mapping pages in here. It's just a really great one. So highly recommend that one. The Holy Land. This one was really great. If you've never done any of them, this is probably, and you have a younger, maybe somewhere in elementary, this is a great one to start off. Addison, while she was in 6th grade doing this, she found the reading to be very easy, and she really did enjoy a lot of it. This one also has mapping pages in it, and she just learned so much. So this one was a great one. Christopher's was fun too. Probably my least favorite of the bunch. Lots of reading, but a lot of great illustrations. He had sections where he was able to draw and stuff like that. So overall good, but of the bunch, that one was my least favorite, but still really great. I've really not seen a lot of people talk about Master Books Geography, and they have so many other ones. I think the series is either 7 or 8 different ones, but these are great. Also extremely affordable. If you're looking for a geography course by itself, that is a great option. Let's go into math. Math is, I really enjoyed math this year. Math in general, I'm not a fan of, but we used to use the Good and the Beautiful levels. I think we did, I don't even remember the early elementary levels that we did, but we went up into level 5, and that was this past year. Addie did level 5, and I'm like, I am not going to have Haley do that. Level 5 was a complete disaster. So Haley did Apologies Math 5. This, in my opinion, guys, is incredibly affordable. It is the most underrated math curriculum out there. I don't ever hear people talk about it, and it's so good. I'm really bummed that Addie was only able to do 1 level, so 6 was really good. It's the mastery approach, which I really recommend for grades 5 and up. We were so used to doing spiral math, which, if you don't know what that is, it's where a concept is introduced and then later it's introduced again, and then it just like, it's a different way to teach math, whereas I kind of feel like mastery is better for grades 5 and up, because at grade 5 so many hard concepts are being taught in grade 5, and while the book does look thick, a lot of it, as far as the lessons go, are very short, anywhere from 1 to 2 pages, and there's not a ton of problems on each page. Very manageable. I also really enjoy how they teach it. So it's simple, it's straight to the point, there's no fluff, which I appreciate. I like that every lesson has an activity that you can choose to do or not to do. In the back of the teacher guide has the activity sheets, and you would just take those out. This is what the teacher guide and answer key looks like. And inside here, we'll have all of your test quizzes, activity sheets, and then your answers. I will say it doesn't necessarily walk you through, well, some of the problems will show you exactly how they worked it out, and some just give you the answer. But in the actual course book, they break it down to where even if you're not familiar with the concepts, when you go to grade it, you're like, oh, I get it. I totally understand how to do that. So for example, elapsed time. I'm going to tell you the difference between elapsed time in The Good and the Beautiful and elapsed time in Apologia. Elapsed time in The Good and the Beautiful was trying to teach us the most, in my opinion, ridiculous way to learn how to do elapsed time. And Addie still didn't get it. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even get how they were trying to teach it. So I had to teach her like the way I learned back in the day. And so when Haley got to elapsed time in lesson 76, I was like, oh, please let this be easier. So much easier, guys. The way they teach it, they show you 2 different examples in almost every single lesson. And it's just like straight to the point. I don't know. I have nothing but good things to say about Apologia, guys. This is the best math curriculum for elementary that's out there. And level 6 was also really great. Addie and Haley both got A's on all of their tests this year, and definitely night and day from past math courses that we've taken. So I cannot recommend it enough. It's affordable. It's mastery approach. It's just great. And Christopher, I don't think I have his math book out here, actually. I didn't grab his, but he did Dennis in Algebra 1. He's almost done this year. He's in chapter 17, which is the last, it's the last chapter of that course book. And then he will go into geometry next year. So we'll see how that goes. But Algebra 1, he did very well. There were some parts that he struggled, and that was with radicals and linear word problems. He eventually figured it out, and then I had to do some work with him on the side, and I had him watch the solutions videos, which he never had to do that in pre-algebra, and he didn't even have to do any of that in Algebra 1, only for those 2 chapters. So, and then even when I looked at it, I was like, I don't get it. But I watched the video with him, and so I was able to better kind of explain it with him, and then we practiced quite a bit on those until he started getting the hang of it, and then he just did a lot better with it. So, but those were the only 2 kind of hiccups in Algebra 1. But other than that, 10 out of 10. We love Denison. I have nothing but good things to say about Denison also. All right, handwriting. All 3 of the kids have done The Good and the Beautiful since they were really little. We have dabbled in some other handwriting curriculums, but we always go back to The Good and the Beautiful. They have a wonderful handwriting curriculum. I don't care for their math, but their handwriting course is great, and so is their typing. But handwriting's great. Christopher finished his, I think this is Christopher's, yes, level 7. So Christopher has finished his through all of it, so he has no more handwriting courses. The girls, I think Addie finished hers and Haley's still working on hers. So handwriting is great. Let's go into spelling. So I don't know if all of you know this, but I used to use All About Spelling. I love that curriculum. All about reading, all about spelling. I loved it when they were younger. It was so great. I loved the way they taught it. All my kids learned to read using that. But then my kids finished all the levels and they were done and they learned how to read. And we did stick with All About Spelling for quite a while. But my middle child struggled still with some spelling. So we switched her to Spelling UC level D because they have a kind of like a test where you can see kind of where they place. Some of this is very easy, and some of it, some words she struggles with. But so far she's done so well, and I've seen the difference in her spelling this year, so that's been great. And Addie, that was for Addie. Christopher and Haley, they are in level E, which is 1 step above this. We did, I think, most of All About Spelling. I don't think we did this level 7, but they saw that Addie was doing it and they wanted to do it also. And I hadn't purchased spelling yet at that time. So I was like, yes, that's fine. We'll all just try it. And they all really liked it. They're very easy to do. So I'll show you what the course book for level D looks like. So basically they have a paragraph and then they have to do chunking where they have to find their consonant chunks, their vowel chunks, the bossy R, everything like that. And I think a big part of why I think this works so well, it's not necessarily like, I don't know how to explain it. I think All About Spelling does really great with kids, especially when they're learning to read, but sounding things out in order to help them spell, which is great. And Addie doesn't struggle with that, but I think she just needed some more work on dictation, because once she writes it and it's repetitive and she's chunking all of her consonant chunks. So that's how she knows, you need two P's in the word dropped and WH that go together. And I think the more that she was seeing that, she was having like way less spelling errors. So very, very much loved All About, I do love All About Spelling, but I very much love Spelling UC this year. Let's go into grammar, Fix-It Grammar. We have done Fix-It Grammar in the past. Last year, we took a break and didn't do it, and I regretted that. So we picked it back up again, and some of my kids really enjoy it and some don't. And I'm pretty much like, at this point, if you have middle schoolers, maybe you can also speak to this, but not every subject your kids are gonna love, and it is what it is. So while the majority of the stuff that I purchased they enjoy, some stuff maybe they don't, but I want them to do it because I see progress. So Fix-It Grammar is definitely one of those love-hate ones, but I really, really love it. And I think this is the teacher's manual, but they basically get a sentence, they diagram it, and it's not like what you think. It's not something that takes a crazy long time. So they would get a sentence, they have the mark it section and fix it. I have my kids use 2 different colored pencils for this. We read through the sentence and then they just have to find their nouns, their pronouns, their adjectives, adverbs, you get the idea. But it has helped so much with their writing. And this pairs so well with the next thing I loved, which is IEW. I wish I started it sooner, guys. It's definitely one of those curriculums where this was my first thoughts when I first saw it. But before I ever thought to order it, I'm like, it's expensive, it's intimidating, not for me. I never really like looked into it because we were using other stuff, but I just regret not starting it sooner. I absolutely love it. The kids' writing it's so crazy, guys. It's gone from, like, for example, when we used BJU Press, they had every other chapter in that book for language arts was a writing and grammar lesson. So when they would do a grammar, they'd have to write a paragraph. I really didn't feel like it I don't know how to explain it. BJU Press is amazing. I love their curriculum, but the writing on it just lacked for me. I didn't feel like it taught a lot of structure. So I was trying to figure out what we were going to do this year, and it was either going to be IEW and very structured and give them a good foundation, or I was going to go with Write Shop. I used Write Shop a very, very long time ago and I didn't love it, but then I saw it again and I was like, maybe, but I felt like it was more relaxed and laid back. And while that's great, I just think with my kids getting in middle school, and this upcoming year is Christopher's last year in middle school before he's in high school, and I'm like, we just really need to kind of hone in on our skills. So style and structure is really great. I did get the Forever Streaming, which I really enjoyed, because I want it to be where all 3 of the kids can log on at any time if they want. If I get the DVDs, then it's like Addison's waiting for Haley and Christopher's waiting for both of them. So Forever Streaming is just much easier, and all 3 of them have computers. Haley's computer actually just took a dive, so she has to use mine. But the point is, it's great, amazing, and their essays have just been amazing, and I'm really proud of them, going from when they first started to writing a paragraph to writing full-length essays, like just going above and beyond. And so I'm very thankful for that. My husband has been helping me edit, so he's been wanting to do some stuff with homeschool, which is really nice, and I accept the help. So usually when the kids, we've kind of figured out a system now. Usually what was happening this year is that the kids would write an essay, and then my husband would edit it, their rough draft, and they would do a final, and then he would grade it. And that's kind of how it worked. And I kind of was almost hands off with IEW because I was doing everything else. And he wanted to do that. But now kind of how it works is that I work on editing all of their grammar errors and stuff like that, and making sure that each paragraph has like an ly adjective, or ly adverb, and it has the who which clauses and because clauses and the adverb clause, excuse me. And after I check all the paragraphs for that, I then give it to him, and he goes over the structure of it. Does the story flow? Does it need some tweaking? And so that, and I lack in that part. So that's great that he's stepped in to help me with that. Let's see, Bible I did not bring up here. We did Driven by Grace, loved it. We're going a different route next year. I'm going more into like apologetics instead of just Bible stories, if that makes any sense. Those were all of the things that I absolutely loved so much this year. Let's go into the stuff that I didn't care for so much. Also, if you're still watching this video, it's a little lengthy, so please give this video a thumbs up if you are enjoying it so far. All right, let's go into what I didn't love and why. Okay, so let's go into Spanish. Addie did Speedy Spanish 1 this year. We didn't finish it. Still working through it. I didn't love it for many reasons, but this is from Christian Light Education. Christian Light Education is a great company though. Like, I've seen their other stuff and it does look really great. Speedy Spanish was, I guess it's in the name. I don't know. It was very fast. We tried to go slow with it, but I just kind of feel like it didn't teach why you have to, I don't know how to explain it. For example, if I was putting a sentence together, and not a phrase, just a full sentence together, it doesn't really dive into why you have to change certain words at certain parts of the sentence to make it make sense. Like usted and están and all that stuff. And by the way, guys, Spanish is not my thing. I don't speak it. I don't have a desire to learn it. So when Addie said she wanted to learn it, I was like, that's totally fine. I'm going to get you a USB where they can, you can hear it from someone who knows how to speak it, because I don't speak it. So I had to end up jumping in to teach her a lot of this stuff. And it was not my forte, guys. It's not my thing. Now, I did tell Addie if she wants to do Spanish another year, I will pay for an actual really great one. Probably go with the BJU one. I did talk to somebody with BJU the other day at, I went to a homeschool expo and I was talking to them about it. But the lady was like, it is hard, but she was saying that it's mostly for high school, like freshmen. And then she was like, and it's kind of tough. You might want to spread it out over 2 years. So I thought, well, that'll be down the road for future reference if she wants to end up doing that. But I spent like $20 extra on the USB, which in my opinion, if we're gonna get this, okay, so this is the course book, and these are the, this is like the teacher guide. These are the 2 workbooks that your kid would work through. It also, you could get it comes with flashcards, which we use them, but I didn't find them to be beneficial. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, the USB. It was $20 extra. Totally not worth it. You don't need it. You don't need it because it really just was not helpful as much as I thought it was going to be. So that'll save you a little money if you do get this, but I just didn't love it. Totally missed for me, and we were not using it. I mean, I'm probably going to give this teacher guide away. And I think, did we get through? We didn't even use B. We were almost done with A. I don't know. I didn't love it. Not using that again. Let's go into the next thing that I didn't love. Okay, so let's dive into science. I don't know what part of me thought, teach 3 different sciences, and thought I could do it. I did. I made it through. It was a struggle at times, but I don't know. It wasn't, all of the kids wanted to do something different, and I'm like, okay, cool. But it was very time consuming trying to do 3 different science curriculums this year, all from master books. But the first one was God's Design for Life. Haley, this is the course book and this is the teacher guide. Haley did this one. I think she retained a lot, which is the upside of all of this. Very affordable, that's another thing. Very Christ-centered, which is another good thing. So there's very positive feedback I have on this. The negative side is that I didn't really I don't know. I didn't love the experiments. I thought it could have had better ones for the topics. So this one went through the world of plants, the human body, and the world of animals. I would say out of all of these, the human body portion was great. The world of plants was okay, and world of animals was better than the world of plants. Another thing to think about, guys, and I didn't really think about it at the time, but you could start potentially at any one of those. We started with the world of plants, but when we started really getting into it, it was starting to get cold where we lived, so it was really hard to do some of the experiments. So that was my bad, though. That's not the curriculum. That was my fault. I should have really looked into that a little bit better. But overall, it was just okay. It lacked for me. But if you're looking for something affordable, short lessons, and you're kind of like whatever on experiments, this might be a great fit for you. But it just missed for us. Christopher's, I only brought one of his books out. So he did paleontology with master books, and his books were a ton of different dinosaur books. This is just one of them. I was not going to bring all of them out. He had like 5 of them. And then it was a teacher guide. The teacher guide, I just bought the PDF and printed everything and put it together in a 3-ring binder. But his was really great. The only thing is that, and I knew it was probably on the younger side, but he really wanted to do it. And I'm like, okay. And he doesn't really show super excitement when it comes to stuff. So I was like, maybe he'll enjoy it. While he did like it, every time we would go to do something, he's like, no experiment. And some of the ones that were there were too little for him. And it wasn't great. But I will say that the pack of books that you do get with it, those are great books to just have like in your home library. Those are really great. But yeah, it's also on the pricier point. I want to say that curriculum was like $100. We're almost done with it, but lacked for us in a few ways. So we're changing science up next year. Okay, Addie did, I'm trying to think what hers was called. It was also from Master Books. It was, I'm trying to think. Middle school had 2 options, and one of them was with like the fossil book, the cave book, archaeology, all of that. And then the other option could have been like weather and stuff like that. So she wanted to do the one for archaeology. Addison loves ancient Egypt and she loves just ancient history. So we did dive into a lot of ancient history stuff this year, but I'm ancient historied out, guys. I don't, no more. I need a break. I'm not a huge fan of like Egypt and all that stuff, but it was a lot. If you don't have a strong reader, this is not the curriculum for you. And I'm letting you guys know it's heavy, heavy, heavy on the reading. Like the amount of reading they wanted her to do in a day, I'm like, that's nuts. Like, no, we had to break it apart. We still haven't got through all of it. And I had to supplement for any kind of experiment but I knew that going in, and I did tell her that. I was like, hey, this doesn't really have experiments, so we're gonna have to supplement a lot. And she was like, no, that's fine. But it was a lot of work for me to do on top of like doing 3 different sciences. So anyway, other than that, the illustrations are great. I did let her highlight in it because it's a really great book and I'm not selling it. We're gonna keep these. But a lot of great information. Highly recommend just the books. And I wouldn't do it as like I would literally classify it as a history. I would not classify this as a science curriculum, but so very, very good though, but not for science. So that's the only thing. Also their tests I thought were really challenging. While maybe some of them were like 2 pages, some were only a page, but the amount of reading that your child has to do, and then by the time they take a test, it's like, I don't know. I was trying to teach her study skills this year. Okay, sorry, it totally cut me off. My battery died. Okay, so I'm trying to think where I left off. Okay, the tests and quizzes for science for Addison. The amount of reading that you have to do, and then the test, I just felt like the gap in between and was just too much. So by the time she was done with her reading, she was forgetting stuff from the beginning of the chapter, but also these chapters are kind of long and jam-packed with information, which is great. She would remember some of it, but then she'd take a test and she's like, I don't even remember that part. So I don't know. She said she liked the books. She did not care for the tests and quizzes, whereas I think most kids probably don't. But I do agree with her on that, because even when I was looking at it, I'm like, I don't I don't know. So didn't love that. Language arts from Master Books. So Haley did level 5 and Chris and Addie both did level 6. Short and easy, affordable, definitely just simple. We have enjoyed it, but the only reason that I'm not going to have like a standalone language arts next year is because we are already doing IEW. We are doing spelling UC. We are doing fix it grammar. Do you get where I'm going with this? So it's just to add another thing that is like reiterating what they're already doing in the other subjects. Does that make sense? So it's just like, you know, consonant suffixes, and they already know this stuff. And so, and some of these grammar things they're learning in Fix It Grammar, and they had to do something in here, and they were like, oh, we learned that in IEW like a long time ago. So it's just, I would say if you don't have your child doing like many other things for language arts, and you want just like an all-in-one, just bare minimum, simple stuff, I would go with Master Books. Also, it's very affordable, and it is going to teach basically everything. It just doesn't dive deep into stuff. So that's kind of where I landed on Master Books. Great. And it was great for like the younger years, but then at the same time, it's like, if you don't really dive into some things, and they may struggle when they get older. So I don't know. We're not going to go with Master Books next year. It is what it is. But like I said, with all the things that we're doing for language arts, I don't want to have another language arts curriculum. Like, it just seems like kind of overkill to me. So, all right, let's go into history. World Story 1. I really wanted to love it. I really did. Affordable, Christ-centered, guys. So Christ-centered, and I love that. I love that God is just weaved throughout each lesson. Beautiful. This is written very much story form, which is nice. Great illustrations throughout the entire thing. We really enjoyed it. But the only thing that just like stuck out to me huge was that it felt like a Bible curriculum. And I'm already doing Bible. You know what I'm saying? So it was like too much, not that there's too much Bible, but when you want a history curriculum, you know, you do want history. While God is, it's, you know, it's cohesive, I get it. But I wanted more history from this than I got. And I was already doing a Bible curriculum, so I felt like it really did feel like I was doing 2 Bible curriculums. So there are definite history stuff in here, which is great, but it just wasn't enough. One thing I did like about it though is that they have apologetics and archaeology sections, this section right here, in I think every chapter. And what I liked about it is that it would basically show you something that archaeologists have found that, you know, date back to Christ. And it's great. I love that. So, or something that is just proves the Bible even more so. And I love that. So that was really great. And the illustrations are beautiful. The worksheets were very dry. Yeah, we didn't love that. We did really enjoy I can't remember what they were called, but they're in the teacher guide, they were, what was it called? Basically like archaeology worksheets almost. Like they would have to do some type of research on something and then write about it. Kids really liked that, but that was like the only part that they liked through the workbooks. So, or the worksheets, I should say. It does not get into history. I'm being so honest, guys. It does not dive into anything. So it goes into creation, great. But my kids have learned all of these stories. So a lot of it, they were like, oh, we know that story. And I was like, okay, let me find something we don't know. So it was just, we knew so much of it, but then they really don't get into the Roman Empire, guys, until like the very end of this book. They don't start diving into real good history stuff until, not that creation isn't beautiful. That's not what I'm trying to say. It was Bible based in the beginning. This whole book is Bible based straight up until like maybe chapter 20 something. And then it starts getting really into history stuff. But I wanted a lot of that more in the beginning, which there could have been. I think they could have put more in the beginning, but I don't know. I didn't love it. I had to supplement with a lot of books, guys. I had a literature pack of books that went with this, or that I thought would go with it. And that was helpful, but overall, it was a miss for me. Affordable, it was a miss for me. I'm selling this for like 20 bucks, by the way, if anybody wants it. I have it on my Facebook page. But yeah, I'm just gonna gift it to somebody because maybe somebody else will get something from it that I didn't. We didn't love it. That is everything, I think. Typing, we did typing level 2 and finished that, loved it. And that was from The Good and the Beautiful. I don't have that. That is in the homeschool room. I may have forgotten other things. Each of my kids had literature books that they've read throughout the year. I let them pick some, and then I pick some that I want them to read. So we rotate. They will read a book that they want to read, that they've picked out, that I've approved, and then they get to pick then they get to read Mom's Choice, and then it goes into a book that they want. I find that most effective, guys, because a lot of times kids are like, I don't want to read that, or they want to read what they want, and I'm like, here's the deal. This is the amount of books I want you to read throughout the year. You can pick a book to read, and when you're done with that, then you get my pick. But when you're done with my pick, then you can pick yours. And some of the books that I've picked, they've really enjoyed, and some of them, the girls are very like, I didn't like that one. Like, very blunt, I didn't like it. Or they'll say, oh, I like that, or oh, that was sad. I tend to pick a lot of really rich historical books for the kids. I do want to pick some fun books this year, like some funny books, because all my kids love funny books. But I don't know. That's what I'm doing for literature next year, a little sneak preview. But that is everything, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and let me know what you used this year, what didn't work. And then sorry if anybody disagrees with me on anything. Every kid's different, every homeschool is different. So what may have worked for me does not work for you, and vice versa. So thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.